Hi all, and we are back from another video, another tips and tricks video for you guys. So let's crack on nice and quick. So what this game doesn't tell you again is in this game you can actually copy your moves from different monsters and make them learn the moves, right? So how are we gonna do that? You have a thing called a memo stone, right? This memo stone is a currency that lets you copy moves from your other Anemon, okay? So how do we do this? We go over to your Anemon, we go over to info. On info, you go to your skills tab. You go manage skills. Okay, so we have all our skills here. And let's say we want to pyro charge, for example. Let's say we want to copy this. You see here, it says change, imprint, remove back. Press imprint, okay? You press imprint. Doesn't actually look like it's done anything, but if we go back onto our bag, you can now see we only have 6 memo stones when we had 7 originally. And if we go down, there's pyro charge. Okay, so you can do this for any Anemon, any skill, as long as you have the memo stones. So the memo stones are basically a currency that lets you copy any move you want. For example, the pyro charge we just copied, but you can actually copy any skill from any Anemon and then use that skill to then be able to use it on any other Anemon you want. So you can use this now, and if any of your other Anemon can use the skill, then you can actually use that stone to then copy the skill onto your other Anemon. So yeah, that's one tip I thought the game just doesn't tell you. So I thought, you know, memo stones. Copy your moves from one Anemon to another. And yeah, let's get on to the second tip. Hi guys, so the second tip, when you go over to these fountains you throughout the game, you can rest and craft at, you want to then actually use different characters to craft. And what do I mean by that? As you see in the bottom right hand corner, you have Trey, but if you press the right bumper, you can actually switch your characters. Now this is actually really important because not only can you make different things, but you can actually evolve certain Anemon based on the character that is making the material. So if you make this Lampetite, I hope I pronounced that right, with the character that's on the screen now in the right hand corner, make it with her. And then if you were to then give it to this Anemon here is what he actually evolves into. But you have to do it with her. If you do it with Trey, it will not work, okay? So that's really annoying because the game doesn't tell you this, but you have to use her to make that material to then evolve this Lampico into Lux Echo. I think I pronounced that right, sorry if I butchered that. But basically, you have to make that item and make this monster hold the item. And once you do that, it will then be able to evolve into Luxto. But the only way to do that, like I said, is you have to make the item with her only. If you make it with Trey, it will not work, okay? So you have to switch it to her, and then you have to make this item to then evolve that monster, but you have to make the item with her, and then make the monster hold the item once it's made to then evolve it. If you try and make it with Trey or make it with the other character, it will not work. You have to use her. Game doesn't tell you this, but that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. While we're still on the subject of creating at the fireplace, as you can see, I have the chance of my success is 80%. 80% with Trey, but with this other character is 120%. So your chance of success is different based on the characters that you use. As you can see, 100%, 100%, 150%. Okay, so when you're going to make certain items, make sure you look at the different characters on the creation screen to then see which, if Trey's the best to do it, for example, 150% here, or 100% not using Trey, using the other 2 characters. So it's very important that you look at which character you want to make the items with. And like I said before on tip number 2, certain items have to be made with certain characters to use to evolve certain monsters or to make higher chances of success. Now, for example, that's tip number 3. Make sure you use different characters based on the chance of success on your creation in a campfire to make sure you have the highest chance of success. Okay, that's tip number 3. Now let's go to tip number 4. Right guys, so tip number 4. People don't know about this and the game doesn't tell you. Did mention this in my previous video, but I will just say it again. In this game, you can quick teleport. You can teleport around the world. You can quick teleport, okay? How you do that is you go into the main map screen here, for example. You can only teleport onto cities, but let's say I want to go over here, for example. If you go over to the Lumen Club in any city, click on it, click yes, you will instantly teleport to that city via the Lumen Club. For example, I'll show you one more time. Go into the main map, big map. Let's say I want to go back to where I was. I was over here somewhere. And then we go to the Lumen Club, click on the Lumen Club, and we instantly go over to the Lumen Club in that city. You can only teleport to cities, but as long as you have the Lumen Club, you've been in the city with the Lumen Club, you will then get that icon on your map that will then let you teleport to the city. And you can do that with every city in the game, so you can teleport in this game to any city in the game once you have been there. Okay, so that's tip number 4. And tip number 5, guys. So tip number 5, when you fight wild animal, wild whatever, if you go over to the Pokedex after you scan them, you will actually have all detailed from evolution to quirk to everything. You have to scan them 3 times, okay? If you scan them once, you will just find out their weaknesses. Scan them twice, you'll find out the quirks, their skills, which is really important because it actually tells you their entire skill set from 1 to 50, every single skill they learn and what level they learn it, and what other skills they can actually learn on top of that as well, okay? So it teaches you everything from their stats values, their evolution. You have to scan 3 times to learn the evolution and how to evolve them. And I think the massive one here is definitely the skills and what level you unlock any skill and what type of skill it is and how much damage it does and what sort of type of skill, the projectile, physical or whatever, and how much it costs and everything. This is massive as well because you can actually tell before you spend time leveling up the monster you want. You can actually tell what attacks you want to learn, if it's worth leveling it up because you already have the skills, you know what level they're going to learn them. And this is just massive, guys. This is absolutely massive. But like I said, if you haven't scanned them 3 times, it would say require research level 3, but that's just basically scanning them 3 times and then everything will unlock. Okay, and you do this for, it's basically your Pokedex. You basically do this for every single Animon you fight. And yeah, it's just absolutely key for you to not waste your time and do that. And yeah, that's tip number 5, guys. And I hope these 5 tips to just for you guys to probably didn't know, and the game definitely doesn't tell you these. I hope this helped. And if you like this video, hit that like and hit the subscribe button. Doing more videos like this as soon as I find out myself, because obviously the game doesn't tell you anything, so I am learning as I go. But yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll catch you all guys on the next one. Peace.